If you are feeling like your life is lacking direction, there is a reason why this video popped up in your feed. There are no coincidences. And I'm going to reveal here the answers to your life's purpose. I'm going to provide some clues here as to, direction anyway. So stick around, let me know what your thoughts are here. Let's just see what your present circumstances are. This one feels really strong to me. You are really trying to climb high at the moment against the elements, and you're working really, really hard. And it's not as if you're not getting somewhere. In fact, maybe you are getting somewhere and you're just not feeling like you thought you would be at this point in your life. Maybe you're kind of thinking, well, I am successful. Why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? Maybe you're pushing so hard that you're creating your own resistance. This is your present circumstances. I'm going to look at your past here. You have been tricked, quite obviously here, and it's left you in a state of complete self-sufficiency. This is your defense mechanism. You've decided, okay, I'm not going to leave anything to chance anymore. I'm not going to trust anyone. I'm going to do it on my own. And, you have been doing it on your own. You've been doing it with some success as well, but it's hard. And there's no time for you anymore, it seems. And actually bringing these walls up, lifting them up, elevating yourself, it's meant that you've not been able to release a certain aspect of yourself. Not being able to let your walls down is exhausting. And I think that's your current path at the moment. Your past has led you to where you are now on a path of just exhaustion. You're heading towards burnout. You can't keep this up forever. You need to land at some point. And so let's see what the outcome is of your future if you keep going the way you're heading right now. I feel like it's in the middle somewhere here. Perspective. All right. That's actually pretty positive. I mean, thinking about it, which is what you're going to be doing, you're going to look back on everything. If you're in a state of reflection, you've either hit a point where things haven't worked out, or so this is either really good or really bad. So, okay, in terms of where you've been, where you're heading right now, and where you're going, this is either one of two things. You're either going to crash and burn and look back and think, okay, what did I do wrong? How can I pick myself up here? You are looking within. This is you're going to enter a phase of introspection if you keep going the way you're going, and that's likely due to a lack of fulfillment. You need to reassess um, and analyze, what lies within in order to find some fulfillment. I mean, it could be that in fact, you rise to a new height and you gain new perspectives. But I can't help but feel that there's a feeling here of working to a point of disillusionment. That's what I'm getting here. So what I'm going to do now is just throw out a few insights into, answers. I mean, let's see what the Crow Tarot deck throws out. This is a different deck altogether. The birds, to me, provide me so many answers in my everyday life. I'll be driving my car and I just find, some activity in my peripheral of some birds. It could be buzzards, kites, crows, magpies, anything. And I get a sense as to what's going to happen because of it. And they're always right. Okay, so there's again this correlates to what we're seeing right here, the self-sufficiency. But again, when we hold on too tightly, if let's just zoom in closer, you can see here this feeling of holding on too tightly creates resistance, and that's what I think is happening right here. It's important to um, own what you have and hold on to everything you've earned. But sometimes when we hold on too tightly, we neglect that which lies ahead and that which is already at our feet. It's almost like by holding on too tightly, you're neglecting half as much of what is around you. And in fact, the answer here lies in letting go. And that might seem really contradictory because you've worked so hard to get where you are. But, having been deceived in the past has kind of led you down something of in some way, it's been really healing doing what you've done. But in another way, it's been an unhealthy psychological pattern you've gotten yourself into. You're holding on so tightly, you're creating your own resistance in life. If you let go of that which you hold most dear, you will find a sense of freedom and release that you have yet to find. And you won't, you know, need to land in a state of introspection. So I'm just going to dig around in my ancient bag of divining tools. It's not ancient at all, but the wood itself is old. Burkana. Okay, that's really positive. There's regrowth, there's rebirth here, there's prosperity, there is I'm just gonna show you an image here that I created. And this for me really represents what Burkana means. It's this looking ahead to what could be, creating what you by letting go, you are going to create the possibilities for growth, for flourishing prosperity. In some way, it feels really, really unnatural to let go of what you worked towards in order to find fulfillment and success and happiness and prosperity. That feels really, really counterintuitive. But in fact, that is the answer. In order to obtain that which you desire most, you have to let go of that which you currently feel is most valuable to you. It might not even be money. It could be, some sort of project, um, some idea which you've been investing your effort and time and energy into, and it's not working out as you thought it would, and you're burning yourself out, and you're going to land into a place of needing to re, analyze everything. And it's just exhausting, and you're going to get really down. You're going to get really down. You're going to quite literally uh, feel, under the weather, like underneath the situation. You need to get ahead of it. You need to get on top of it, and by doing the only way to really do that is to let go in some way, and in that way that you feel almost like the way in which you feel is it's almost like what's the worst thing you could currently think of doing right now? Just dropping everything and walking away from everything you've worked so hard towards? That is the answer, and that feels like a really ridiculous piece of advice, but actually that's going to lead you towards happiness. That's as clear as day for me. All right, so thank you very much for watching this. Um, I don't know, divinatory insight reading. Let me know what your thoughts are. Please do give it a like if you felt you connected with this. And thank you so much. And maybe I'll see you on the next one.